Alright, so there's some major developments here, right? So I'm sitting now in front of my new place. Where can you see it? Yeah, the door is there. So you'll see a new angle over here with new windows and new foliage in all the videos. It's very exciting. So this is my new place, Unit H, two doors down. Where's my old place? Right there. So just around the bend here, just about 20 feet away. But it's a much more interesting situation. It's got a film studio in there, a whole film studio, really, for making really, actual film scenes. Very cool. Um, we could actually rent the space out for like $300 a day, $200 to $300 a day, apparently, according to these people around us telling us that. So that's exciting. Devin's going to work on that a lot. So he's going to try to get a job, but he's also going to explore what it means to just market this place really hard, try to get a lot of clients in here, and try to make this happen and turn it into a business, right? And then assist the people doing production to try to understand the production process and try to get some insight, try to get some experience in that. So I spoke to Shatiba up at the market, and she was interested in being involved in what other business plans we had going on, because, of course, she's trying to refine and sharpen her business kind of consulting skills. She also told me I'd probably be a good consultant up at PricewaterhouseCoopers, because I'm talking about trying to be a life coach and trying to help people analyze their problems and situations and model them and offer solutions and more efficient paths and things like that. She's like, yeah, some of those companies would love that, you'll help HR analyze like work morale, figure out how to get people to work more and less money, and morale, and figure out what morale is tied to, and try to analyze these variables to see if you can improve the work environment of these places. And that is something that I'm confident that I can do with ease, right? It would not be hard for me. It would be hard for many people, perhaps, but for me it would be easy because that's my particular skill. I'm able to analyze systems very easily. Systems that have many pieces, parts, and are hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around this whole system, right? That to me is a game. It's a puzzle. It's a thing for me to figure out, right? And I love those games. I draw them all out, and I do not try to do it precisely. I try to get the gist of the entire system, and then, in order to do that, I have to take away a lot of the details. And so the details are what a lot of people get caught up on. They don't know which details are important to the overall picture and which aren't. So that's the actual skill that I've developed, the skill of discernment. Discerning in a problem what's important to the core of the problem versus what's a peripheral problem that's less important for me to understand right now. So those are valuable consulting skills in that context, I believe, according to Shatiba, right? She's saying PricewaterhouseCoopers would really find this stuff valuable. So that's a good possibility for thinking about. But they probably don't have part-time, and they probably don't, there's probably not community-oriented. So I really like the idea just of a life coach, and I'm like on Craigslist, on, whatever, $50 an hour, or whatever you want to pay me. I like that structure better than the PricewaterhouseCoopers structure. So, and it would be more amenable to my schedule. So although PricewaterhouseCoopers is cool, and probably way more money, right? I'm not into that idea that much that Shatiba was talking about, because I do not want it to take up my time in a way that I do not want it to, right? So I want it to be flexible. I want it to be when I want it to be, when I'm just feeling inspired and wanting to help people. Be sure we could schedule things, but I do not want a solid schedule, like set per week or whatever. And I don't want a boss to have to report to. So my attitude is such that working for a company or a business right now is not exactly what would make me happy, because I'm in this whole like I'm my own boss mentality, right? I'm this got this thing happening to where I want to do it my way, because I have an idea about how things are interesting. So I could work for PricewaterhouseCoopers, not sure I will though. But anyhow, in the meantime, right, we got Shatiba over here at the market, and then she asked me when we're finishing up our conversation, well, Nick, you got any money-making schemes that you're currently working on that you might need some business consulting? Because Shatiba is an MBA over there, very good at business, very, very good at analyzing people and figuring out what makes, what's going to be successful for them versus what's not going to be successful. What are they going to understand versus not? So then I told her, Shatiba, well, yeah, we got 2 projects going on that are making some money here. They're not just toy projects. They're actually very, money-making potential here. So one was the film studio itself. So I said, we got to figure out, like spaces in the area, how much they're charging, how are they advertising, how are they marketing. We got to take pictures, we got to make the space fancy, we got to paint the wall, we got to put up ads, we got to contact the right contacts, we got to get everything in order to where we're marketing the space properly. She said, well, yeah, come show me your materials, man, bring them up here, call me. She gave me her number, right? She wants to be involved in the process. So, and her at this point, she's like, she wants the experience and the line item on her resume to show that she's still been active in the business world, right? And so that's good. That's what we want. We want people that want to volunteer their time and that want to just better themselves through these projects, right? Because that's what we need. We're not a company right now. We don't have money to pay you. We don't have that kind of stuff, right? And we don't even necessarily want to commit to giving you profits because there's not going to be that much to begin with. So we want to keep things tight, but we want to help people and help people grow and build connections in the community that people are going to want to, refer people to us. Like, maybe Shatiba knows somebody that's going to film. Maybe she herself is going to film something. We'll give her a deal on one of these commercial ideas that she has. So that's what Shatiba's going to help with. But she's really going to help with the business presentation of the space as well as perhaps this movie that we're working on. So I told her about the 15-minute short, about the theories and about these ideas that my friend is helping build. And the director of photography, whose apartment I now live in, right? That's why we have this media studio, because the director of photography lived here. He built it. I've got the resources, right? And I've got the old friend that wants to put the movie together. And we can film it here. Film part of it here. So that's really exciting to me. And Shatiba wants, I think she's really into the idea of giving us some consulting, giving us some guidance on the type of business proposition, business proposal. So that's good. My sister texted me this morning and said she's got a big investor in small films, right? That she knows pretty well. And so that's an exciting opportunity there, so I'm be able to hopefully capitalize on that. So I'm going to text her back. I told her in about a week I'd have an investment proposal for her. And then I'm also going to contact the other investors to see if they're going to want to be involved. We're trying to raise from $1,000 to $3,000 just for this short film. That's what Ryan says he needs. He says he wanted it done before this point. I'm a little bit behind schedule, but I warned him that this is going to be slow. So hopefully he's not going to lose motivation and passion for the project in the meantime. But it is a risk, right? But who cares? We'll get the movie plot, and if we have the investors, then we'll find another director of photography. He's not into it, but I have a feeling if we get the money, he's going to be into it, right? So I don't think it's that big of a deal that we're taking a little bit longer than we thought we were going to take, because it's going to be okay. So yeah, that's that. So then, what's the other situation? The other situation, I was going to try to remember what the dream was last night that inspired these interactions, these talks. Dreams the last 2 nights has been related to a song. The song, right? Which reminds me of what Sonali said yesterday with the singing bowl. So what struck me one time was that one of these ancient civilizations, I think it was the Indian ones, they had an instrument that played the entire scale in one note, right? And then that scale, since it was so impressive, the scale, like the one note contained all the other notes. This note was healing, and somehow or another it healed you. And so now in my dreams, last night, today, that it's relating to that one instrument that plays all those chords at once, right? And then has this healing sound. And it's about the different waves interacting to have a emergent, like, ohm sound, right, that contains all the other sounds. And so in the dream last night and the dream today, there was like 12 or 13 components to this instrument. Each waveform had a different responsibility, a different type of mental bandwidth, or a different type of mental thing that represented. And so in the dreams, we're kind of piecing together this instrument that we're gradually tuning through the efforts that we're doing in reality day to day. So I think we're building this instrument that we're going to be able to play, and it will be manifested as a physical instrument as well, but also just relationship between people singing like an instrument, or an organic symphony of people coming together to make things happen. So I think that's what the dreams are signifying. I don't know exactly. Slept on a couch this morning. Carl did not cuddle with me last night. Carl totally, I'm talking, this is my kitty cat, right? Carl totally cuddled with me the night before. It was just like the most insane cuddle of my life, right? Dude, Cat really came up to me, like, underneath my arm, just, like, really letting me, like, put my arm over that. The whole night, right, on this couch in my new apartment, right? Carl was scared, right? I was, of course, a little, like, it's a new place, it's strange, whatever. It was very nice to have the kitty there, right? Carl cuddled with me all night. Last night, Carl was like, I got my own thing. I'm independent little kitty cat, right? I do not want to cuddle with you. So I did not get to experience the Carl bliss last night. But the night before I did, which was really magical. So that's my current update. Carl included.